I'm not able to start the class because somebody is organizer. I don't know who it is.
If Anuji's things seem to have worked last
No,
time.
she's not here right now. She
If
might
there
join
is a redundancy, I will go through the same step. Kalpeshi told me that there's no problem. Once we put the decoder in, we can get the information out.
Okay. Okay.
If nobody is there, I don't know. Just for my sake.
No. I want, because I don't know who. Somebody's an organizer. I don't know who it is right now. Somebody who started the class is what I'm trying to get to.
I don't know. I called in on time.
Okay, Ravi is recording. Okay, Ravi is recording.
Ravi's.
Yeah, okay, I think he started the class. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. For redundancy, if you want.
Okay, I'll make it just in case. Okay. Yeah, sorry for the delay, everybody, but get some technical difficulties. But I'll make you also an organizer. Okay, let me make you an organizer, Vasu. Okay, so you're also an organizer now.
And
you can also record like last time.
I think we went to view.
Yeah, go to view, and under that, there's a recording checkbox.
And then
it says start recording. Below that.
I don't see the start recording come up yet.
Okay, do you see the audience view and everything? Do you see all that?
I have.
Did your screen change? Did it become? Do you see what do you see below file options view? Do you see the show my screen, stop showing screen? Do you see all that stuff or no?
There is a screen sharing which is not this one.
That's fine. What is below that?
Dashboard. There is.
Is there a dashboard audio?
Yes, and there is a dashboard with the place
above the dashboard.
Play sign.
Yeah, below the play sign and above the dashboard should be the start recording button. Same as last time. Not there?
Yeah, no, I don't see it this time. I think.
Go under view again, under view, and Hindu is just joining us. Go under view, and you see recording checked off.
Yeah, start recording, right.
Okay, you got it. Okay, good. So you will start the class now. So sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. So anyway, we'll start the class now. So, Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Viyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalayas Sada Bhotame Bho Rama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti Ita Shri Maheshwar Sutrani Ayyan Rulruk Ayong Ayauch Ayavarat Lan Nyamanga Na Nam Javain Garadash Jabagaradash Kapa Cha Cha Tha Cha Cha Tav Kapai Shashatar Hal Iti Maheshwar Sutrani. Okay. So, what's your recording started? You're fine?
Yes, I already started it.
Okay, good.
I mute myself right now, Satishji.
Correct. Okay, that's fine. But you are unmuted, so you can, anytime you want, you can jump in. Okay, so last time we were doing, sorry again for delay, we had some problems, but we were starting this Panchami Vibhakti, and let me see where we were. Let me pull up the Antoine page. So we were here at number 149 on in Antoine's page number 149, and it is it's point number 149, and it's on page number 101. 101. So the ablative case is governed by words meaning the following. So last time we went through this how Panini deals with these vibhaktis is that in the it's a The vibhaktis actually are assigned in the Ashtadhyayi in 2.3. In 2.3, Panini starts with the thing about Anabhite. We went through this last time. To refresh your memory, I hope all of you are using these nice, wonderful search tools that we have now. Let me see, where is my, okay, let's see. Okay, the Ashtadhyayi, if you look at 2.3, in 2.3.1, we saw last time, we start with the Sutram Anabhite. Anabhite. Anabhite means that if that has not been expressed by the verb or the participle already, in that case, all these following rules apply. And there, Panini assigns all the first, we start with Karmani, Dvitiya, there's 2, 3, 2, and so on. For today's lesson, we want to look at the Panchami. And the Panchami is mainly, if we start, the main sutram is Apadane Panchami. Apadane Panchami. But to see what Apadane means, we have to go in 1.4. And 1.4, this is where there is a section called Karake. For any vibhakti assignment in this language, you have to look at these two sections. Look at Karake and look at then 2.3, the Anabhite Adhikaraha, where Panini assigns all the vibhakti. So it's a very short section. That's the good news. It's a short section. The difficult thing is that there are some gray areas. You have to make some extensions sometimes to bring in some, other things. So from 1.4.23 to 55 is Karake. So let's get started. Let's see what we can do. The trick is to take all the Shishta Prayogas, means all the usage in the language, and see if we can justify using the Panini rules. Okay, that's our exercise for today. And if you cannot justify, then you can maybe look for other usages from, particularly in the Mahabhashyam or in the Siddhanta Kaumudi, or maybe Panini's own usage somewhere. He may have hinted that this is what is to be done, and that's what can help us. Otherwise, it's a questionable usage. That's what we have to see. And yes, there will be some times, rare times, where we may not be able to actually fit, a usage with a sutra. So that's the difficulty. Unlike these, the sandhis and subantas and even tingantas, this is an area where we have to use some discretion. But I think today we're going to be okay. Let's see what we start. So. Okay. First thing which Antoine is saying is that the ablative case governed by the verbs mean to desist from, to neglect. Adhikarat pramattaha, neglecting his duty. And krodhad virama, desist from anger. Stop being angry. This is actually a vartikam he's taking. I don't know why he's taking this meaning first. But if you look at 1.4.24, let's go to 1.4.24, and that is a sutram which says, Dhruvam apaye apadanam. Dhruvam apaye apadanam. Any new sutram, repeat it a few times and, get used to it. Dhruvam apaye apadanam. Okay, so this Mudgala Kosha also you can search. This thanks to Ajit Krishnan from Seattle that we have this. So we can also do here. So we are looking at 1.4.24, where we define the apadan. So let's look at the, there's a vartikam on this sutra, So this says, okay, the sutram says, the Kashika Vritti says, so dhruvam apaye apadanam, apaye apadanam. So when an apaya has to be done, when there is a separation, then that from which is the look at the Kashika says, Dhruvam yad apaya yuktam is apaye sadhye. When a separation has to be done between two items, two things. Yad avadhi bhutam. That is the reference point from which the separation is taking place. That's the point which relative to which separation is taking place. That is tat karakam apadana sanyam bhavati. That is called apadanam. That's what it says. So gramad agachati, etc. He comes from the village. And then parvatad avarohati. He descends from the mountain. So the gramam is gets the apadana sanya, because relative to that somebody is coming from there. So that's the point from which somebody is coming. That's the reference point. Give me 1 second. Let me reply to Ravi. He's in the office. Want to just today. Okay. So that's what the sutram says. But then the first meaning which Antoine has given here, we cannot use that meaning because here he says to desist, to neglect. Adhikara pramattaha. This is not like there's going to be a separation from something, physical separation. So we have to use this vartikam. This is what I mean. If you write in the first meaning here itself, you don't have an exact sutram for this, but we have a vartikam. So we can use that. And the vartikam says is that jugupsa virama pramadarthanam upasankhyanam. So jugupsa. Jugupsa, and you can also use apte to see what jugupsa means. Jugupsa is a special word, means let's see what apte says, jugupsa. I want you to use all these. A very nice tool. It makes our job really easy. In the old days, all these scholars had to keep all this in their brain, which is also good in a way, but now we are getting to use all these tools. So jugupsa means censure, reproach, dislike, aversion, disgust with something. Jugupsa, censure, reproach. In that sense, we can use that. Also gets the apadana sanya. So example is given here. Adharma jugupsate. So she is disgusted with adharma. Adharma jugupsate. That's the example. Right now we don't have that, but that's the part of the vartikam. So let's keep that for time being. Because in the book we only have these two meanings given here, to neglect or to desist from. So that's the next two items in the vartikam. It says adharmad viramati. Adharmad viramati. So he desists from adharma, from doing something wrong. He stops, he desists from that. Adharmad viramati. Otherwise, the Panchami, the apadana karaka sanya was not obvious from the sutram. Sutram only said dhruvam apaye, to separate yourself from. There's a kind of separation here also. But the vartikam makes it clear for us. So it is from adharma, he's distancing himself from adharma, separating himself from adharma. So that's what it means, adharmad viramati. Even the vartikam has suggested, the sutram has suggested that meaning, but the vartikam clearly spells it out for us. Then dharmad pramadyati. So he moves away from dharma, means he neglects dharma. Dharmat pramadyati. Okay, that's what it means. So this is where in this vartikam, this virama is coming here, and the pramada is coming here. That is what we need to use to get these, to justify the usages in the book. So this is also a wonderful exercise. You can take any vibhakti assignment which has been made in this language and try to find a sutram or vartikam or something in these two sections. It's 1:4:23 to 55 with the karake, and then you get the karaka sanya, and then ultimately you have to find a sutram in 2.3. It's a wonderful exercise, is to find the sutram in 2.3. No matter what you do, finally there has to be a sutram in 2.3 or vartikam to justify that. Even now we are only assigning the apadana sanya. Apadana sanya only is being assigned. Then we have to go to 2.3 and they take the apadane panchami. Apadane panchami. So 2, 3, we have to make it apadane panchami. So it will come from 2, 3, about 28. So ultimately the vibhakti is assigned by apadane panchami. So when we say here, when he says the adharmad viramati, adharma only got the apadana sanya from the dhruvam upaya apadanam and the vartikam, jugupsa virama pramadarthanam upasankhyanam. And then you have to go and make apadane panchami. Okay, so that's what we are here right now. Let's start with these two. So this is to neglect adhikara pramattaha. So that's the vartikam. Neglects his duty, and then the adhikara gets the apadana sanya. Apadane panchami gets the panchami bhakti. And krodhad virama. Of course, pramattaha is a nishtha prayogaha. Is a what you call the past participle. And virama is a lot lakara. Virama. This is from anger. This is also the same vartikam. The krodha gets the apadana sanya, and apadane panchami 2:3:28 will get the panchami bhakti. Actually, you know what? I think I started from the middle here. I'm sorry. I started from the wrong point. Okay. That was not the first one, Antoine. Good, because we should have taken point 148 or 149. Sorry, I jumped to 149. So that's was wondering why I start from that. Okay. Anyway, this part is done. We should start from 148 actually, which is what was the starting point. So wondering why I took this one. Okay. So let's start from 148 now, which is what we should have done. And the first thing it says the origin from which an action proceeds. So Nagarad agachami. I'm coming from the town. We already talked about that. This is the dhruvam apaye apadanam, the reference point from which an action is taking place. Reference point from which an action is taking place. The limit, from the relative point. That is getting the same two-step process. Dhruvam apaye apadanam apadane panchami. So this is just the Sutram 1424 we already saw. So the cause or motive is lobha dhanam mushnati. Lobha dhanam mushnati. Now this one is 2325. Let's go there for a second. 2325. 2325 and see what that says. This is vibhacha gune striyam. Okay. So this actually this hetav was given only for titya vibhakti. Can be used hetav. Okay. But then there was a special usage in 2324. And 2325 says optionally, if it is a gunavachak shabda. Gunavachak means any kind of, quality word. So this is a tricky term. Guna is a tricky term. But, generally it means that it's something which inherently the person has, not something which is done through an action. So if an action brings you something that's not considered gunavachaka. Vibhasha gune striyam. So let's look at that 2325, which is what we need right now. 2325. Let's go there because 2325. Let's go down there. 2325. Vibhasha gune striyam. Vibhasha gune striyam. The prior sutra was talking about titiya in the sense of hetav, but this one is saying is hetav iti vartate. So the hetav anuvritti is coming down. That's why we need to go back. Now, see, this also shows you that if you just take, that 2328 to 35 as assigning Panchami that will not be enough because Tritiya was coming as in terms of Hetav, but now the Panchami is being assigned there. So sometimes you really have to scan this entire 2.3 to get all the meanings of for every, in which every vibhakti can be used. Unfortunately, because some of them are jumbled up, mixed up with other vibhaktis because of the fact there might be some vibhasha, some overlap might be there. And when the overlap is there, you will not find in that one section. You have to go to different sections. But as I said, good news is that 2.3 is only like 70 odd sutras, so it's not difficult to go through all of them. Okay, so hetav iti vartate. So gune hetav astri linge vibhasha panchami vibhakti bhavati. So jadyad baddhaha. So due to his ignorance, he is bound. Somebody is bound. So jadyam is a quality. Jada is with inert, means his dullness, dull or inert, jadyam. Jadyena baddha. So this is vibhasha. So even the tritiya also comes with that, jadyena baddha tritiya. Then pandityat muktaha. Due to his scholarship, he is free. Because of that, pandityena muktaha. Okay. Now this is a quality that the person has, So guna grahanam kim dhanena kulam. So this is dhanam is not a quality. That's why it's dhanena kulam. And he says astriyam iti kim. So it is feminine should not be used. Why is that? Buddhya muktaha. On account of his intelligence is also a quality the person has. Muktaha. He is free. Pradnyaya muktaha. But here actually in the Siddhanta Kaumudi, if you look at the Kaumudi, there are some times when even in the sense of striyam, this sutram is used because particularly when you read the grammar commentaries, there's this thing called apattehe. Apatti is difficulty. So when something is going to bring up a certain difficulty, then because of this difficulty is going to come up, we don't do this. Iti apattehe. It's a very, very common expression. Now apatti is, then how do you justify usage? That's the feminine use. So if you look at the sutram actually down here, you can see this. So he's saying that, see, we don't have Siddhanta Kaumudi here. We only have Tattvabodhini commentary on Siddhanta Kaumudi. And there is a comment here, Striyam Chaiti. Okay. So let's look at that one. I can only read it out to you from the Kaumudi. So if you look at the Sutram, Vibhasha Gunaya Striyam. I wish if anybody knows any Siddhanta Kaumudi online, let me know. It's very useful for us to have. So that's our basic text. Kashika is right behind it. But unfortunately, right now we are not having the Siddhanta Kaumudi online to the best of my knowledge. So we're not able to show it to you online. But I can read it out to you. Vibhasha Gunaya Striyam is number 602 in the Kaumudi. So we read it out to you what it says. I think as far as the book is concerned, we are fine. But one thing to remember is that sometimes this condition will be, So this Kaumudi says, Vibhasha iti yoga vibhagad agune striyancha kvachita. So this sutram, even though it says guneya striyam, so kvachit agune api, kvachit striyam api. Even if it's not a gunavachaka, you can still get the panchami in hetau. Because what Kaumudi is saying, Bhattoji is saying is that do yoga vibhaga over here. So Vibhasha is, a separate sutram, and Guneya Striyam is a separate sutram, which means that there's a loophole that this Panchami can be used Vibhasha, but most of the time it should be used Guneya Striyam. Now what does that mean? That means that when we use it, when we asmakam prayujyate yada, tada kevalam gune astriyam cha. We should only use gune astriyam. But shishto prayoga asti chet, if there is a scholarly usage that has been there, we can justify it using yoga vibhaga. So what he says is that dhumad agniman, on account of the smoke, we know that there is a fire there, that there must be a fire. So dhumad. Then nasti ghato anupalabdhehe, anupalabdhi, because it is not found, it is not to be seen. It's obviously it cannot be seen. So there cannot be a pot because it's not available to be seen. So the anupalabdhi was a feminine word. So even though this is a typo, by the way, in the sutram, should be astriyam, should be this is a typo here, by the way. It should be astriyam, should be short. Anyway, so sometimes you will see it being used in agune api, striyam api. So this yoga vibhaga is now telling us that basically panchami can be used in hetau, but most of the time not in the feminine. And most of the time, it has to be a guna, some quality. Okay, and there are some nyapakas for that. We can go into that because in some places, there have been some hints that this can be done. Anyway, bottom line for you is that sometimes you may not have the striyam. Sometimes, you may not have a striyam. It might be striyam also, and sometimes it might be in something which is not a guna also. So that's all is summarized. So this vibhasha, take it as a yoga vibhaga. And we see this is what I mean. The good thing is that all these scholars have already commented for us. We don't have to scratch our brain too much. We can accept what they are saying because these nyapakas which they get are from looking at all the hints that Panini gives. This is exactly what I was telling you before about these karakas and vibhaktis. It's not black and white. You have to make some adjustments. Okay. So this is an adjustment already has been made for us. And already adjustments have been already made for us. Even the sutra might be, giving some, may not be fitting exactly from the vyakhyanam. We can make these adjustments. So it says, vibhasha gune striyam, but vibhashati yoga vibhagat, kvachit agune, kvachit striyam api. That's what we leave it like that. So let's go to what the book says. It says that the cause or motive, lobhat. Lobha is fine because lobha is greed. That's a quality that the person has. So this usage is fine. Lobhat. It's not feminine. It's a quality also. So that the person has. So, lobhad dhanam mushnati is out due to greed. In English, out of greed, due to greed, he steals wealth. Somebody, he or she is stealing wealth. Out of greed, he steals money. So, it's lobhad. Also important usage of panchami can be seen many times. What you can do after today's class, you can go through Gita, and then maybe if we have time, we'll do that today, and pick out all the panchamis in the Gita, and see which of these sutras can apply to that one. It's a very good exercise. If you have any questions, you can post, and there might be some situations it may not be an exact fit. It's possible, but that's the next step that we can do. Maybe we'll do, if you have time today, we will do that. We started a little bit late today, so, but if you have time, we'll do that. Okay, so this is the Hetau, and that's the 2325 with the Vyakhyana. Okay. It says the point in time or space from which distance is counted. So Vanad Gruham Yojanam. So from the forest, the home is Yojanam, is that much distance. Now the house is a Yojana from the forest. This is on 2328. There's a Vartikam there on 2328. Again, let's go to 2328. We want 2325, so let's go down. That's the main sutram. And this is also one more thing to remember, is that the top level sutram will have most of these Vartikam. Okay. The very first sutram, which is Apadane Panchami, that will tend to have more Vartikams on it. And this is what it says is that, okay, Krishna Kshanayo Puto Bhavan. Okay, here it is. Yatascha Adva Kala Nirmanam. Yatascha Adva Kala Nirmanam. Tatra Panchami Vaktavya. Okay. So when from Nirmanam is that from a distance, Adva or Kala. Advan means a distance, road, distance, or traveling. So distance or Advan actually is the road. In Kala Nirmanam, so the measure of the path or measure of time, Advan is a path or road. So when you measure the road or you measure the time from some place, from some point, that point gets the Panchami Vibhakti also, Vaktavya. So Gavi Dhumataha Sankashyam Chatvari Yojanani. So this is an old place somewhere. So from this place to this place, it is 4 yojanas. And then one more thing is that he says Kartikya Agrahayani Mase. So even though in the book we have only example of distance, not of time, but here when you have an example of time, there's another Vartikam which says that you have to use the Saptami with that. Kartikya Agrahayani Mase. So okay, while in the when you use a distance, you can say Prathama or Saptami. Prathama or Saptami, both we can use. So Gavidhu Mataha Sankasham Chatvari Yojanani Athva Chaturshu Yojaneshu Va. Now this is this Panchami is fine, but what Vibhakti does the other one take, that measure of distance or time? That's what we are talking about now. So now these are, by the way, these are ancient, like, tithis, the months, the Agrahayani and all that. We are not used to this kinds of usages right now, but we don't follow this now. We are used to the English calendar, but you can look at Apte for these meanings. So I think Agrahayani is the first day. Agrahayani is the full moon day of Magha Masa, of Mrugashira. I'm sorry, Mrugashira Masa. It's a full moon day, Agrahayani, and Kartiki. I think Kartiki is probably Purnima of the Kartika Masa. So Kartika Masa we take to the full moon day of Mrugashira. Let's look at the. Hold on. Look at the dictionary, because now all these are archaic pieces for us. Agrahayani. Let's look for Agrahayani. 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 Like that. No. All right. Let's up there. Containing. Okay, let me try this one first. Okay. You know what? It's not working. Agra Just tweet Agra and see if I can a lot of words. Okay, Agra. Sometimes this online dictionary is sometimes hard to search, but I mean, let me look at my printed dictionary I found. So we can look for the Kartiki also. That will also give a, because some the see what it's saying is some Kartiki to Agrahayani is 1 month, is what that statement is saying. So we take Kartika Mas, yeah. So Margashirsha, I'm sorry, yeah, correct. I think that's fine. So from the Kartika Purnima to the Purnima of the Margashirsha, not Mrigashira, Margashirsha, the wrong statement, Mrigashira Nakshatra, Margashirsha Masa. So from there to there, Agrahayani is the Purnima of the Margashirsha Masa. So from that to that is 1 month, is what it says, 1 month. So this statement here, which says Kartikyaha, that's the Panchami. Agrahayani, sorry, Agra, that's the mistake I was making. It should be Agrahayani. Okay, let's just search for that. Agrahayani. Okay, let me try that. Agrahayani. Okay, just a bit of it. Agrahayani. Oh, here it is. Agrahayani. So the full moon day of Margashirsha. Okay, that's what the mistake I was making. So Agrahayani is the full moon day of Margashirsha Masa. And Kartiki, of course, is the full moon day of Kartika Masa. So this one says, this is saying that Kartikyaha, which is Panchami, Agrahayani, sorry what the confusion, Agrahayani, which is the full moon day of the Margashirsha Masa. It is in 1 month, it is within a month. So now this Mase is Saptami. So that's the next Vartikam. Tad yuktat kale Saptami vaktavya. In sense of time, you have to use Saptami with that. That's not given in the book. In the book, he's only given the example of the distance, not of time. In the sense of distance, he says you can use the Prathama or Saptami. So Gavidhu Mataha Sankashyam Chatvari Yojanani Chaturushu Yojaneshu Va. Chaturushu Yojaneshu Va. So that is what the examples that he's given. Gavidhu Mataha Sankashyam. So it is 4 yojanas. You can use that. This is the Panchami is taking here, and then this one can take either Prathama or Saptami for the distance measure. Okay, so that's the again the Vartikam on 2328. That the reference point from which a distance is measured or from a time is measured, then distance, if a measure of time, a measure of distance is there, then that takes, the reference point takes the Panchami. So, okay, this one already we just did. Pramattaha and Krodha, we started with that. Again, by mistake, we started from this one. And the next one, to fear, to ward off, to protect from, is Vyagrad Bibheti Harinaha. The deer are afraid of the tiger in English, but from the tiger in Sanskritam we have that they have fear from him. Papad Mam Raksha, protect me from that. This is in 1.4, 25 and 27. Let's go to that 1.4. Okay, 1.4. Okay. It says Bhitrarthanam Bhayahetuhu. Bhitrarthanam. Artha means you can take synonyms also. So dhatu bhi or dhatu trai, to protect. Arthana. So anything in the sense of fear or sense of protection. That from which you have fear, that from which you protect. So that will get the apadana sanya. And then again apadane panchami. And the 27 is saying varanarthanam ipsitaha. So that which you want to ward somebody off from something that you want to protect. That also takes the apadana sanya. Let's look at 1.4. Let's look at both of them. 1.4.25 and 1.4.27. 1.4.25 and 27. Let's see where we can get. Okay. 1.4.25.27. Sorry. 1.4.25. Dhitrarthanam. That's the first one. And the other one is Varanarthanam ipsitaha. So if you take Vitrarthanam bhaya hetuh, that one says that Vibheti arthanam, I'm looking at the Kashika Vritti here, Trayati arthanam cha dhatunam prayoge bhaya hetur yaha tatkarakam apadana sanyam bhavati. So chaurebhyo vibheti. He is afraid of the thieves. So from the thieves he is afraid. So he has fear. I guess in English you can say from the thieves he has fear from the thieves. So chaurebhya udvijate. He is disturbed or agitated kind of on account of from the thieves. That is because why did he give two examples? So it says artha now. Not only dhatu bhi, in the meaning of bhi also. So this is what is there. And then trayati arthanam chaurebhya trayate. Somebody protects from the thieves. Chaurebhya rakshati. Again, he given two examples. Trayate and rakshati. From the thieves, he protects. Okay. Now this bhaya hetu itikim, you should not see that from which you have fear, that from which you protect only gets the apadana. It says aranye bibheti. In the forest he is afraid. He is not afraid of the forest. In the forest he is afraid of something from something else. So aranyam will not get the panchami, the apadana sanya, because that is not the bhaya hetu. He is afraid in the forest, but from somebody. So that's only that from somebody that he is afraid, that will get the apadana sanya. Okay. Now same thing, aranye trayate. He protects him in the forest, but he's in the forest that forest will not get the apadana sanya. It has to be the bhaya hetu. That from which you protect, that from which you have fear, or in a similar emotion, that fear or protection, that will get that. That was it. That is in the book given here in the sutram, in this not sutram, but in the statement, Vyagrad vibheti harinaha. So Vyagra is the bhaya hetuho. That's 1425. Gets the Vyagra gets the apadana sanya, then apadane panchami 2328 with the panchami bhakti. Then the deer fears the tiger. Okay, we got that. Then papad mam raksha, protect me from sin. That is also the same sutram. The tra is the trai dhatu trai. So protection, protect me from. And arthanam, so raksha can also be used, protect me from sin. There's 1427 to ward off. Let's look at the meaning 1427 to ward off. Let's go here. Okay, varanarthanam ipsitaha. Varnarthanam dhatunam prayoge yaha ipsitaha arthaha. Ipsita arthaha means that is which is what is desired for you. Ipsitaha is aptumishtaha, ishtaha. That is what which is you want to get, you want to keep, you want to guard against. That's the ipsitaha. Tatkarakam apadana sanyam bhavati. So pravritti vighato varanam. Pravritti vighato varanam. As I mentioned to you before, you can read these tikas and the bhashyam and the vyakhyanam on the vyakaranam. It will improve your language a lot. What is varanam? Pravritti vighatha. Because as also I mentioned too, I think is that no matter what text you take, whether it be Gita or Ramayanam or Bhagavata Puranam or Mahabharata, there will always be some non-Paninian usages. Even in Kalidasa, there might be some situations where, but in these grammar commentaries, Vyakarana Vyakhyane, Kinchidapi apaniyam nasti. There is nothing apaniyam. This is where you want to learn from first, and then of course we have to extend to account for the usage in the language. We cannot expect everything to fit like 100%. But you want to start looking from here. This is the best place to learn how to use the language also, is to read the simple commentaries, good commentaries in Vyakyanam. Of course, Kashika and Kaumudi is the best, and then also you read commentaries like in Tattvabodhini and places like that. So, pravritti vighata varanam. So, vighata means when you stop some pravritti, when somebody wants to come and do something, you're stopping him. That is varanam, means to ward off. Yavebhyo gaha varayati. So, he wards off the cows from the barley, from the crop, the barley crop. So gaha is the dvitiya bhavachanam, and that is the karmani dvitiya, that's the karma. But from what? What does he want to protect? The ipsitaha. What is desired for that person? He desires the corn, the barley, that the crop. So from that, he wards off the cows. So yavebhyo gaha nivartayati. He turns them back. He pushes them back from the barley. Again, why do you give two examples? Same thing. So it says varana arthanam. It doesn't have to be the dhatu, only the dhatu vru, with the nich prayoga, but it can be other dhatu the same meaning. So he gives varayati and nivartayati. Dhatu vrit. Nivrit is to turn back. In Gita, right? Na nivartate. Okay. And then he says, Ipsita itikim. Then why is only that getting the apadana sanya? Because yavebhyaha gaha varayati kshetre. In the field. Now the field is not the one that he's protecting from. He's protecting this crop of barley from that. So only that yava will get the apadana sanya, not the field, because the field is not the thing he's protecting from. In the field, he is warding off the cows from the barley crop. So that's what it is. So that is what is given in the book here to ward off. So yavebhya gaha varayati. Also, as I mentioned to you, all these examples are given with great care. Given with enormous amount of thought goes into backing up. Into these examples that are given. So please pay careful attention to them. Appreciate them how they are given. Okay. Now the next thing is that, of course, in all these cases, you have to then use 2328 apadane panchami. Next, the verb paraji, meaning to find unbearable. Adhyanat parajayate. Vyakaranat parajayate. He's fed up. He's fed up with Vyakaranam. Adhyanat parajayate. From his studies, he gives up. He's fed up. He's disgusted. He doesn't want to do it anymore. Paraj means like defeated. Means he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's fed up with something and not do it anymore. He finds study unbearable. So this is 1426. Again, the same thing, the same two-step process. Come through 1420. Give the apadana sanya here, and then go to the next one. So it says that parajehe, when this para plus ji dhatu is used, parajete. In this case means to be fed up with something, to be, kind of to lose enthusiasm or to give up doing something. Paraj is going to be defeated, but that's what the meaning is. Asodhaha means he cannot bear it. Apadanam karake. So sodhum shakyati is sodha. That which you can tolerate is sodha. And na sodha asodha. Means which you find unbearable. You cannot bear it anymore. So you cannot take it anymore in English. That one is the so para iti evam purvat jayatehe. So dhatoho prayoge asodha yah tatkarakam apavanasanyam bhavati. Adhyanat parajayate. Adhyanam nahi sahate ityartha. Means he cannot bear to study anymore. So that's what it means. So Kashika says parapurvasya jayatehe prayoge. So this has to be in this particular dhatu only now. It did not say artha now. You cannot use it from any other dhatu. It has to be this dhatu. Para upasarga is para and dhatu ji. Parapurvasya jayatehe prayoge. Asodha ya artha. That which you find unbearable. Sodum na shakyate. Tatkarakam upadana sanyam adhyanat parajayate. He cannot tolerate studies anymore. He's fed up with studies. He cannot bear it anymore. So he says, asodha itikim shatrun parajayate. He defeats the enemies. This is not asodha. It has to be, even the dhatu para plus ji is there, it's not in that meaning. It has to be that which you find unbearable, which you cannot tolerate anymore, which you're fed up with. So adhyanat parajayate. It's a very specific usage. So 1426 gives that the apadana sanya, so that thing which is unbearable. And then again 2328 apadane panchami, the panchami bhakti. And that completes this page 149. So far not too bad. We only had to use a couple of articles to do that, but otherwise it was kind of okay. Let's go to the next page. Now we need some whatever on the next page. Okay. It says that the following adjectives, prepositions, and locutions govern the ablative. So anya itara bhinna, different from. Etasmad anyaha upayo nasti. There is no other remedy. There is no other means. Beyond, other than this, there is no other way out. There's no other means than this. Okay, that's 2329. Let us go to that sutram 2329. 2329, 2320. In which Panini gives a list of items, list of things from which Panchami is to be used. 2329. Okay, let's go down there. 2329. We're getting some background noise, so whoever has to mute themselves. I think Vasi already muted. I think maybe Ravi can mute yourself. Okay. 2329. Okay, let's go to 2329. It says, sorry, 2329, not 24, 2329. Okay, here's the list, and the list is that Anya, Arad, Itara, Rate, Dik Shabda, Anchu Uttarapada. Then these are two sadhita, which you don't worry about that. Yukte. Yukte gives Panchami Bhakti. So what does the Kashika says? Anya, Arad, Itara, Rite, Dikshabda, Anchu Uttarapada, and this Ach and Ahi, Iti Etair Yoge Panchami Bhaktir Bhavati. So says, so Anya is in this list. Other than, and actually from the Vyakhyanam we can also use the similar words can also be used. So Anyam is Bhinna is the same meaning. So Anya Bhinna. So this is 2329. So going back to the book, we can say that Anya Itara Bhinna. Even though Bhinna is not in the Sutram, it's the same meaning as these. That also we can extend it to that. Anya Itara Bhinna. But 2329 says that when Yukte, so when it's in connection with these words, then that which is connecting with these words, that takes the Panchami Bhakti. So Anyo Devadatta. So he's other than Devadatta. Other than. Bhinno Devadatta. And he says it is different from Devadatta. He is different from that. So this 2329 directly is going to allow us to use the Panchami Bhakti. It's a one-step process. If it is anything meaning of Anya, Itara, or a similar meaning, then Panchami can be used. In connection with that, Panchami can be used. So Anya Yukte, so we can use that. So that is the first one here. I'm sorry, wrong page. Anya, Itara. Etasmad Anya Upayanasti. Then Arat. So I think Arat has two meanings. It can mean at a distance. It can also mean close by also. Let's see what Apte has to say. I think Arat has two meanings. Let me get it right this time. All right. Arat. Let's see. Arat. Okay. Arat, here it is. Arat. Okay. It says near, in the vicinity of. So with ablative, we say ablative, we say that. And then it says far from. Far from. He says, Dvitiya also can be used, he says that. But that's the main one for this. Arat has two meanings, So it's a strange kind of word. It's an avyaya, Arat. It means these two things. It can mean far from, it can also mean in the vicinity of, close, near to. So near to, and I think Antoine has given only one meaning here, at a distance. It also might mean close to, close to. So, and again, the same sutram 2329 because it mentions the word Arat. Arat. So it says Arat Shabdo. Here, in fact, here Kashika says that. It is right here. It says Arat Shabdaha Dura Antika Arthe Vartate. Interesting word. Arat Shabdaha Durantika Arthe Vartate. It can mean, this word Arat can mean either far, close also. Far or close. Tatsa Durantikarthaihi Shashti Anyatarasyam. There is a sutram which is coming, which is going to give a Shashti Bhakti for a word which in the sense of far and close by. Iti Prapte, that's going to be coming. But Panchami Vidiyate. But Panini wants a Panchami only with this Arad. It means far and close. So Arad Devadatta means he could be far away, be close to Devadatta. Arad Yajnadatta. So this is what it is. Okay. that is what is given in the book here. Is Arap also can take the Panchami, but only means can be close by or far away. Okay. Now this Apa, Prati, and A. Let's look at these. So the next three in the book, Apa, Prati, and A. What this is this thing called Karma Pravachaniya. Let's go to that apart first. Let's go to 1.4. In 1.4, there is a section called Karma Pravachaniya. What is Karma Pravachaniya? Is these it starts from 1483. 1483. The Pradaya, which we're all used to, which we normally call Upasargas. The Upasargas only Kriya Yoga. Only Kriya Yoga. So here comes the section called Pradaya. So let's see. The Pradaya. Here it's Pradaya. 1458. So let's go to Pradaya for a second. This Pradaya, which is these are Nipatas, they are Avyayas, and they only get the Upasarga Sanya Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga. So let's look at this Pradaya. This list is worth memorizing or keeping in front of your eyes. So Pradaya. So Pra, Para, Apa, Sam, Anu, Ava, Nis, Nir, Dus, Dur, Vi, Yang, Ni, Adi, Api, Ati, Su, Ut, Abhi, Prati, Pari, Upa is called Pradaya. Pradaya. These are Pradaya. What happens is that, sometimes these can be used and the verb which is the connecting with is dropped. So they have a word implied in them. The verb is implied in them, but that is not being expressed right now. It's being expressed right now. So when these are used not in connection with a kriya, but they used just like that on their own, with some verb being. In fact, my favorite example we have in Gita today. Let's go with Gita for 1 second. There's one example in the Gita in the 16th chapter. Here it is. 16th chapter there is a list of gunas given in the first 3 shlokas of chapter 16. Kamabhayam sattva samshuddhihi, jnana yoga vyavastitihi, dhanam damascha, and so on. And tejaha, shama, dhiti, shaucham, adroho, natimanita. This is the whole list. Guna suchi. Bhavanti. So ete gunaha bhavanti. That's fine. Sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. Now Sampadam daivim is a dvitiya vibhakti. Is a dvitiya vibhakti clearly. Dvitiya ekvachanam. Now abhijatasya looks like it's a shashti ekvachanam. This dvitiya is connecting with what? Is the connection with dvitiya. Because normally you have to have karmani dvitiya. So it's a karma of some verb. But there's nothing here to connect this Sampadam daivim. So here the sutram is that this abhi stands for abhilakshya. Abhilakshya means one who's born with a focus on these. Sorry, the focus on the Devi Sampatti. He will have these gunas. So that abhi is a karma pravachaniya. Means it is implying a verb, which is the laksha dhatu. Means targeting with a focus on abhilakshya. But it is not currently being used. Only abhi is being used. That's called karma pravachaniya. It's a strange kind of term. So you have to watch out for this. If you see these, some karaka hanging, particularly dvitiya hanging like that, and one of these pradayas are there around, which are, implying a verb in them, then they might be the ones that are connecting with that dvitiya or some other karakas it might be. So, okay. Now, so by the way, the sutram for this is also in the same section of the karma pravachaniya in this, which we were there right now. We were that starts from 1483 to 98, and that is 1491. The sutram for that. So let's just go that. So avi is used as a karma pravachaniya. So let me put this Taurus document. So Gita 16.3. So Gita 60. We haven't used our document much today yet. Okay. Okay. So in Gita 16.3. That abhi. Abhi is used as a karma pravachaniya. Karma pravachaniya. Okay. and then and because of that, and so abhi means abhilakshya, and on the basis of that, and then connecting with that, and based on that, the daivim sampadam, sampadam daivim, that sampadam daivim is getting the, why do we need to read that right now? Because we're going to have the same situation here, where Panchami has to be used, also it's typical of Pravachaniya. So sampadam and this daivim gets the Dvitiya Vibhakti. Daivim gets the Dvitiya Vibhakti, because the Karma Sanya gets Dvitiya. Actually, sorry, gets Dvitiya. Dvitiya Vibhakti directly, because in the, let's go to this 2.3, what, if somebody has to mute themselves, they're getting the phone noise. So, okay. So let's look at the Ashtadhyaya. Go back to Ashtadhyaya for a second. And in 2.3, in the beginning itself, I think Panini says, karma, here it is. In 238, Panini says, karma pravachaniya yukte dvitiya. If you have karma pravachaniya, then in general, as a general rule, dvitiya has to be used. Dvitiya has to be used. So that is this 238 was a sutram, which in the Gita gave the, by 238. When a connection is there, the karma pravachaniya, which is a pradi, which is not having connection with dhatu. Dhatu is implied by that pradi. In that case, this dvitiya is used in connection with that by 238. But that has an exception to it, which is why we need it in today's class, is that the exception to that is the Panchami Apa Ang Paribhehi. And then also 2.3.11, Pratinidhi Pratidane Cha Yasmat. So as a general rule, we had Dvitiya to be used in connection with a Karma Pravachaniya. So that was fine. But the Panchami has to be used in connection with Apa, Ang and Pari. And Pratinidhi Pratidane in these two, Yasmat. So this is what, in these meanings, Panchami has to be used. Panchami has to be used. So that is what we are going to do now. Is, by the way, not all the pradis can function as karma pravachaniya. I think about half of them. About half of them is certain meanings. Certain meanings they can get the karma pravachaniya. Okay? And all those meanings are given here in 80 here. It was from 1483. So if you suspect that you have karma pravachaniya, come from 1483 to 98. This is the section from 83 to 98. This is karma pravachaniya. Okay. And now which one are we looking at for today? For today we need to look at this one. The upper, then prati and a. Upper, prati and a. Okay. Now we can look at we need 14, 87, 88, 91 to first get the pravachaniya sanya, and then connection with that Ditya Prapta, but in Vishesha Sutra, by special Sutram, Panchami is to be used. Okay, let's look at 14, 87, 88, 91 and see which ones we need to use. So it says, actually just use 88. It says Apapari Varjane. Apapari Varjane. So Apapari Varjane, let's look at the Vyakhyanam on that. Apapari Varjane, 1488. See 1488, Apapari Varjane. All this is doing right now is for Apa and Pari. These two are part of the Pradaya. They can be used on their own, basically implying a kind of verb in them. And in this meaning, Apapari Varjane. Okay, Apapari Varjane. Apapari is a Dvivachanam. This is a dual form. Apapari is a dual form. It's like Hari, Harayaha. This Apapari is a Dvivachanam. Apapari, in the sense of Varjane, they have to be used in certain meanings, okay? Sense of Varjane. So, Varjane means to exclude. So, Apapari Shabdao, Varjane Dyotye, when they are in the meaning of Varjane, so, Karma Pravachaniya Sanyau Bhavataha, so, they get the Karma Pravachaniya Sanya. So, okay? So, Okay. Prakritena sambandhina kasyachid anabhisambandha vajanam. When you exclude, basically means exclusion. When you exclude something from whatever is the current topic, which is the current situation, when you exclude something from that, varjane. So what it says, apa trigartebhyaha prishto devaha. So in the sense of that the devaha means Indraha. So God reigned, excluding these trigarta region. So apa means varjane, excluding that. So in this excluding these, it rained, basically, that's what it means. And pari also, pari trigartebhya vishto devaha. So this was that it rained, excluding that region. So apa and pari, when they use in sense of varjane, then this sutram can be used. Actually, this pari usage just on the side. We don't want to get too deep. But in 815 is the sutram, where this pari comes into that. 815, let's go there just because I mentioned the form. So let's do this 815. 815 is so parer varjane. This is section which sarvasya dve section, when this repetition has to be done of certain words. Parer varjane. When pari is used in the varjanat, it is used twice. It repeats itself. So this sutram, it repeats itself. That's why this parer varjane. From that, so that's why we have this example in the Kashika. Is pari trigartebhyaha vrishto devaha. Excluding this region, it rained. Okay. Okay. So that's the one sutram. So 1488 will give apa and pari. This karma pravachaniya sanya in the sense of varjane. So 1488 by 1488 we get so we have to use 1488 gives the apa and also pari, the karma pravachaniya sanya in the sense of in the yeah, but actually it has to be in sense of varjane. Okay. Used in the sense of varjane. Okay. Used in the sense of varjane. Okay. Varjane. Okay. This is sanya. And then, as I mentioned to you, we had to go to 2.3. And there, as a first default, we were first, the Ditya was described, and after that 2, 3, okay. But Panchami apa ang paribhehi. Panchami apa ang paribhehi. So that is what is said that Panchami has to be used when you have these three, apa, ang, and pari, when they have the karma pravachaniya sanya. In connection with that, Panchami has to be used. That is why we got this usage of trigartebhyaha. That is the Panchami. So first is apapari varjane, get the karma pravachaniya sanya, and then after that we have to use apa-ang paribhi. So Panchami, apang paribhi. So, okay, that was the first part in the book, and then the next part he says so we got the apa and we got the a. Oh. Okay, now no, we got the apa so far. We got apa and pari so far. The book only has apa. Apa means excluding, away from excluding. It rained away from this region. Excluding that, it rained. Okay? And then a means up to. Okay. Now let's look at the a which is there. Next sutram is ang maryada vachane. Ang maryada. Anybody in the class? This is used. Actually, it's not. Yeah, we can use that. Any where is this used in the Gita? The Panchami has been used with the karma pravachaniya ang. So, anybody in the class? Panchami Bhakti has been used in Maryada Vachane. Maryada Vachane. Anybody? Okay. Used in the 8th chapter. A Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Punaravartino Jana. Brahma Bhuvanat. A Brahma Bhuvanat Loka Punaravartino Jana. Amapechita Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. I hope all of you are using this now nice searchable Gita and all that. So we can search in the Gita. Very, very nice tool. Thanks to Ravi and Kripesh. So, Brahma Bhuvana Lokaha. Punaravartino Arjuna. Brahma. Here it is. Brahma. See how quickly you find this shloka, very easy for us. So we have now the Raghuvamsha, we have the Srimad Bhagavata Puranam, Ashtadhyayi we have Apte Dictionary. We may get some other goodies also afterwards, but start using these. Very, very useful. So Brahma Bhuvanat. This one is Brahma Bhuvanat. So up to Brahma Bhuvana, up to the world of Brahma Bhuvana, up to that, Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna. So all the worlds up to that world, they are coming and going. They rotate. Punaravartino. They come and go, come and go, come and go. So this so this sutram that we need here is this Ang Maryada Vachane. Same section of Karma Pravachaniyaha. Ang Maryada Vachane. So Ang ityesha esha shabdaha Maryada Vachane Karma Pravachaniya Sanya Bhavati. Use the sense of this up to that limit. When you express the limit. Only thing that is small difficulty in the sense of on the context you have to know that limit is included or excluded. Is it an open set or closed set? Interesting in the Gita. Does this mean the Brahma Bhuvana is included in that or no? So up to Brahma Bhuvana, all the worlds they come and repeat, they rotate, they come and go. Question is that does it include Brahma Bhuvana or not? Including or excluding that endpoint? It is used in sense of both. In sense of both it is used. So it is, in fact, you might even mention this here, Maryada Vachane. Okay. Now, here it is. Ang Maryada Abhividyoho is this 2.1.12 ityadi. So let's look at 2.1.12. This 2.1.12 is going to give us the Panchami with that, 2.1.12. So Ang Maryada Abhividyoho. Abhividhi. Abhividhi means that you, so let's look at that. Abhividhi, you can look in the, that means you include an endpoint also. That's Abhividhi. We can check in Apteji to check Abhividhi. Let's see if we can go back to that. Abhividhi. It's also a very good tool that we have is this online Abhividhi. Okay. Abhividhi. The limit inceptive, the post-limit conclusive, commensive, including. So, including. So, abalebhya hari bhakti. So, from, including the young boys also, including. Okay, Ravi has a question. Yes, Ravi?
Rishi, I heard something like Tena Vina Maryada, Tena Saha Abhividhi.
Very good. Tena Vina Maryada. So, Ravi is correct. Tena Vina Maryada. So when you don't include an endpoint, that limit point, that is Maryada. And when you include that, Tena Saha Abhividhi. So Ravi is absolutely right. So that's what. So that's but in both these senses, this A can be used. And when the A is used, that endpoint gets the in connection with the A, that gets the Panchami Vibhakti by this sutram which we are looking at just now, which was 2.3.13. So Ang Maryada Abhividyo. So in both these senses, Abhividhi and Maryada. This when A is used. In connection with that, you have to use the Panchami Vibhakti. This number is wrong. This should be 2.3. Ang Maryada. No, I'm in the wrong place. I mean, this is, see, Ang is you, this is not Sutram. We are in 2.1.1, I'm sorry, 2.1.11. What we need is that we have to use the 2.3.10 only. Yes, we are in the Samasa section, by the way. We're in the Samasa section, Partli Putram and all that. This is a Samasa. Anyway, these two meanings are correct. The Maryada Abhividhi meanings are fine. But what we need, right, this we can form compounds with that also. We can form compound, which is not today's topic. So we don't want this Sutram. It gives the two meanings that we need, but the sutram that we want actually is 2.3.10. 2.3.10 is one that we need because 2.1 is only for compounds. Sorry about that. So I think I jumped to the wrong. I think some of the links might not be working in this document. It's okay, but we need to go to 2.3. So First of all, ang maryada vachane, pravachaniya sanya it got, and then we get the 2, 3, 10, 2, 3, 10. Ravi, then there's been only abhividhi or only maryada? Can maryada, abhividhi what? I think what this, because Sutram only maryada vachane only it says, ang maryada vachane. But what Vyakyanam is saying is vachana grahanam abhividhir api grihiyate. So because it's maryada vachane, not only, maryada vachane, that means that even though only maryada is said in the sutram, but that word vachane is telling us from the Vyakyanam, that here also you can use abhividhi as well as maryada, both can be used. Even here it is, so the Gita is ambiguous still. We don't know whether this is the abhividha or maryada. We don't know which one it is. So in any case, so we first need to use this 1480. Oh, these numbers are a little bit off. So okay, let's go to the other document. 14, I think 88. Ang maryada vachane. Ang maryada. Sorry, 1489. So 1489, ang maryada vachane. Yes, Hindu. There's a lot of background noise. Somebody has to mute themselves. I don't know. It's not Vasu. I think. Okay. Yes, Hindu. Hindu? Your hand is up. You're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. So I think your mic is not working. You can type your question in the chat maybe. Okay. Okay. So ang maryada vachane 1489, and then we got to go to 2310, where we're going to get the Panchami Bhakti. Panchami Bhakti is that Panchami ang apa ang paribhi. These are the two ways. So coming back to the book now, so that's how this ang is used. So ang maryada vachane, from vachane we also get the sense of the abhividhi and maryada abhividhi, and then we can use the 2310, which will assign us the Panchami Bhakti. Somebody has to mute themselves. I don't know who is here. Let me mute somebody. Okay, I can do it myself. Okay, now we are fine. Okay, somebody was making that. All right. Hindu, you're still unmuted. I don't know, your mic is not working, but you can. Okay. Now let us go on next thing in the book. So we got the apa parivarjane, then ang maryada vachane, and the sutram was the same. Finally, 2310. Panchami apa ang paribhe. Now prati. Let's look at the final one, prati. Prati, I think, is 1491. 1491 is the prati. 1491 is prati has to be used. 1491. No, prati. I think it's 1492. Pratihi, pratinidhi, pratidanayoho. 1492. So same kind of concept is pratihi, pratinidhi, pratidanayoho. So when you want to represent something in place of somebody is pratinidhi, or pratidana, when you in exchange of something, okay. Give me 1 second. There's a question. Okay, Ravi, I got. I think somebody was making noise, but I've muted him now, so we are fine. Thanks, Ravi. Okay, so let's go to 1492. See what examples we can get from 1492. So, okay, pratihi, pratinidhi, pratidanayoho. So it says, mukhya sadrishah pratinidhi. So when somebody is in place of representing somebody else, so mukhya sadrishah, he is like the main person, but he's only representative. He is only coming in place. So mukhya sadrishah pratinidhi. So tattasya pratiniryatanam pratidanam. So when you exchange something for something else, in place, if you take something and give something, that's pratidanam. So dattasya pratiniryatanam. So when you take something in place of that, you give something else. Pratidanam. Pratinidhi vishaye Pratidana Vishaye cha Pratihi Karma Pravachaniya Sanya Bhavati. Then Abhimanyuhu Arjunataha Prati. Abhimanyuhu is a representative, is almost the same, is in place of Arjuna. In place of Arjuna is the Abhimanyuhu. So he is a representative, he is standing for Arjuna, he is in place of him. Then next one is Mashan Asmai Tilebhya Prati Yachati. So he gives him in exchange of, he takes this tila, means and sesame seeds, and in sense of Mashan. So Mashan Asmai Tilebhya Prati Yachati, in exchange of this. So he gives him that in exchange of that. So he takes that, and so Mashan Yachati, he gives him I guess these beans in exchange of titila. So this exchange, that's the Pratidanam. In these two meanings, this Prati gets the Kramapravachaniya Sanya, and then now we need to give it the Panchami Vibhakti. So let's look at that sutram. So we have to go to 2.3, I think it is 11, is it? 2.3, 11 is, yeah, Pratinidhi Pratidane cha Yasmat. This is 2.3, 11. Let's look at 2.3, 11 sutram. So we got the Kramapravachaniya Sanya from there. And then normally what we should have had, again refreshing your memory, what we should have had is if we go to 2.238, Dvitiya should have come, but then we are getting Panchami because of this Pratinidhi Pratidane cha Yasmat. So that's from which is an exchange or representative. Somebody else is, let's see, okay, I think we're fine. Okay. All right. Let's go to 2.3.11. Let's see what we find there. 2.3.11. So 2.3.11. 2.3.11. Okay. 2.3.11. 2.3.11. Look at the Vyakyanam for that. 2.3.11. Pratinidhi Pratidane cha Yasmat. Okay. Again, Mukhya Sadrisha Pratinidhi. Satyasya Pratiyanam Pratidanam. Yasmat Pratinidhi. Yatasya Pratidanam. So he is a representative for whom? In place of whom is he representing? Standing in place of whom? And then in Yatasya Pratidanam, so that which is given in exchange, what is that? Okay, so Vibhakti Bhavati. Abhimanyu, same example. Arjunataha Prati. Pradyumna Vasudevataha Prati. So Pradyumna stands for, is in place of Vasudevaha. He is representative or he is in place of him. So Mashan Asmai Tilebhya Prati Yachati. Tilebhya Prati. He gives him Mashan Yachati Tilebhya Prati in exchange of this. In exchange of this one. Okay? So that's what these two. So coming back to the book, these are not very common usages, but it is given in the book, so we have to go through that. That's how it's put. So these three things we got from this. The Apapari Varjane we got, then Pratinidhi Pratidanam we got, the Prati is being used, and Ang Maryada Vachane, that A was used Karma Pravachaniya, and then these three rules that we looked at, actually I think two rules, is Panchami Apang Paribhe, and the Pratinidhi Pratidane cha Yasmat. These two give us the Panchami Bhakti. So why they put in this section? Because here Panini started this section about Karma Pravachaniya Yukte Dvitiya. It started here. But these particular one, the upper, Ang, Pari and Prati, in these meanings, they will have to be given Panchami. So they put over here. Okay, so that is that part. Now it says Prabhriti Arabhya. Prabhriti Arabhya. This is a place where there's not exactly an exact sutram that we can look at this one and say, this is the place where, we have to get this role. So this is some place that we have to do some adjustment. You have to go to some Vyakyanam to get this meaning. And that if you look at Siddhanta Kaumudi under the sutram, I think it is, let's see, let me give you the, okay. In the there is a statement in the Mahabhashyam under the Sutram Apadane Panchami. I read from the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Apadane Panchami iti sutre Kartikyaha prabhuti iti bhashya prayoga. There is a usage in the Mahabhashyam where Patanjali says Kartikyaha prabhuti. So starting from the Purnima of the Kartika Masa. So from that. So then how did Patanjali use the prabhuti? Use the Panchami with Kartiki with the word prabhuti. Iti bhashya prayogat prabhuti artha yoge panchami. So this is from the bhashya prayoga. Prabhuti and arabhya, starting from. Etasmad arabhya. Etasmad prabhuti. This prabhuti is an interesting word. Prabhuti can be an avyaya. Prabhuti can also be an adjective. Indra prabhutayaha devaha. So the gods, Indra, etc. So that can also be prabhuti, but here we want the other one, the avyaya. So prabhuti and arabhya. So in the sense of prabhuti, because of the bhashya prayoga pramanyat, because of the pramanam of the bhashya prayoga, we can get this one. So says okay, arabhyava sevyo. So bhavat prabhuti arabhyava sevyo harihi. Siddhanta Kaumudi says, starting from birth, one should worship Lord Hari. Bhavat prabhuti arabhyava sevyo harihi. Okay. So this is the one is from Bhashya Prayoga. So starting from something. So maybe we can put in this one. This is Bhavat, this is Siddhanta Kaumudi. So always try to get these Kaumudi and these Kashika uses in your head because they are very, very great examples that they have given. So Bhavat Prabhritihi Arabhyava. Prabhritihi. Prabhriti and Arabhyava. So either Arabhya and Prabhriti has a similar meaning here. Arabhyava, Sevyo Harihi. So Sevyo Harihi, Sevyaha Harihi. So Harihi is to be worshipped, Lord Hari, starting from birth. Bhavat, I'm sorry, typo here. Bhavat Prabhriti. Bhavat Janmanaha Prabhriti Arabhyava Sevyaha Harihi. So Sevyaha Harihi. Okay, so that's from the Bhashya Prayogat. So from the Bhashya Prayogat. Otherwise, the Sutram exactly we are not. This is what I mean about these Karakas. You have to sometimes hunt for these Jnapakas and some indications which will allow us to justify the usages. Bhashya Prayogat. Somebody else. Let me mute the others also. Okay, I muted everybody. I've seen there's some too much background noise. I think everybody's muted now in the organizers. So if you want to, you can just put in the chat or, that way I'll know that you. Okay. All right. So that is the what we saw from the book is Arabhya Prabhriti. Bahihi, also same thing. There is not another. So this the next term in Kaumudi says that Apa Pari Bahihi iti Samasa Vijnanat Vidhanat Nyapakat Bahir Yoge Panchami Gramat Bahi. Now, what is the Sutram is saying? Let me find Sutram for Apa Pari Bahi. Let's go to Ashtadhyayi. Because Panini is not in the Karaka section, but in the Samasas, this is also an interesting thing. Sometimes in some other section, Panini will, indicate something. So it is Apa Pari Bahi iti Samasa Vidhanat. Apaparibahi. And from that, he's saying you can form a compound, a Panchami Tatpurusha compound. But then, how can you form the compound if Panchami Evana Vihita Chet? Katham Samasaha Sambhavet. How can we have Samasa when the Panchami itself is not authorized? But the fact that Pani is saying that you can form a compound in this sense of the Apapari Bahir Bahiranchavaha Panchamya. So Panchamya, he says that. This is not in the Panchami Tatpurusha. This is in 2.1.12. In 2.1.12, Panini says that. So when these are in Panchami sense, okay, Avyabhava compound is created. Avyabhava compound. Okay. Avyabhava compound is created when this used when the Apa, Pari and Bahir and Anchu Dhatu. So when these are used, so then you can form from the Panchami, then you can form the avyabhava compound. But the question is, how can you do the Panchami in the first place? This becomes a Jnapaka. So on the basis of 2-1-12, and Panini has says that, let's go to 2-1-12 for 1 second, just so you can see what I'm talking about. 2-1-12, let's go to 2-1-12. So, and that is a Jnapaka on the basis of which we 2-1-12. Okay, now why am I not finding it? Here, it is Vibhasha. Okay, there's some part of Veda is here. Okay. It says Vibhasha Adhikaro Veditavyam Vibhasha. Okay. Apapari Bahiranchavaha Panchamya Apagaratam Vishtadevaha. So this is Apapari Bahi Bahir and Anchu. Iti ete subantaha Panchamyetena saha Vibhasha Samasyante. You can form a samasa. Apa pari bahis anchu. Iti ete subantaha. These subantas can be formed panchamyantena saha vibhasha samasyante. They can optionally be compounded with a panchamyantam padam. But then how can we use panchamyantam padam from what sutram? There is no sutram for that with bahihi. But the fact that Panini is saying you can form a compound with bahi. So example is given is here. It says, in fact, look at here in Kashika. Bahi shabdaha yoge panchami bhavasya etadeva jnapakam. So bahi shabda yoge, in connection with bahi, panchami bhavasya, the use of panchami, etadeva jnapakam. This is an indication that bahi can be, in connection with the word bahi, panchami can be used. It says bahir gramat. So this can be outside the village, bahir gramat. Anyway, so on the basis of this Jnapakam from this 2-1-12, then this Bahihi can be used. So Bahihi, in connection with Bahi, Panchami can be used. So the 2-1-12 is on basis of 2-1-12. Let me put this in the document maybe, on basis of 2-1-12, which is not in the Karaka section, not in the Bhuvi section, but it is in the Samasa section, on basis of 2-1-12. In connection with Bahis, I think it is Bahis Pratipadikam, we can use the Panchami Vibhakti. Okay, now let's go back to the book and see what else is left now. Now, Urdhvam, Prak, Purvam, Anantaram. Okay. This is all going back to 2-3-29, which you saw before. So all these four words in 2-3-29, which you already saw that long list of words which we were looking at 2-3-29. 2-3-29 we looked at before. We looked at the word Anya, we looked at Arad, Itara, then Rite. We look at that also later on. Dik Shabda. Dik Shabda in a directional word, like Purva, Paschima, Dakshina, Uttara, all these words. In instance of direction is used. Dik Shabda Yukte, when in connection with that, you can use a Panchami. Panchami should be used. It says okay, let's see. It says Dik Shabdaha. It says, example of that is Purvo Gramat Parvataha. Purvo Gramat Parvataha. So the mountain is to the east of the village, east of the village. In English, word Gramat in Sanskrit. From the village, in the east, from the village is the mountain. Uttara Gramat, from the north of the village is the mountain. Purva Grishmat Vasantaha. Now this is in the sense of time now. This was a physical direction. Purvo Gramat Parvataha Uttara Gramat. Purva Grishmat Vasantaha. The springtime comes before the summertime. Purva Grishmat Vasantaha. Uttaro Grishmo Vasantat. After spring comes summer. It's a Dik Shabdaha Ityatra. Shabdagrahanam. So we say, why say Dik Shabdaha? Why not just say Dik? But the Panya says Dik Shabdaha in connection with the directional words. So they use that as a Nyapaka to say, Desha Kala Vrittina Api Dik Shabdena Yoge Yatha Syat. Not only direction in terms of physical direction, in terms of space, but also in the sense of the time, before or after. So desha kala vrittina api dikshabdena yoge yatha syat. So that's what we have in the book over here. So some of these others, like urdhvam, is above direction, on top. So tasmad urdhvam. So it says prithivyaha urdhvam, above the earth. Then you can say, or it can be urdhvam can also mean following in time also. Urdhvam can mean later also. Etasmad kalad urdhvam. So asmad masad urdhvam. So after this month, urdhvam can be up. It can also mean later in time. Then prak and purvam. The purvam, we leave it prak for the time being. Purvam. Purvam also means before, also means to the east. It's the same dikshabda yoga. So this dikshabda is the direction. So basically direction in terms of time or space. You can use panchami with that. Anantaram, after. Anantaram, after this. Same thing, same concept. Anything which gives you direction in time or space. So etasmad dinad anantaram. So immediately after this, after today, it also can use the panchami. Now the only thing we left behind was this prak. This prak also has a sense of this before, but this prak has the word anchu in there. This dhatu anch. We won't go through all the details today, but this word prak, which means before, that has the dhatu anch in there, anch. And because the sutram choho kuho, the nasal has dropped, and the we have got the ka in place of cha. So because this same sutram 2.3.29 mentioned the dhatu anchu uttarpada. So that is what is also there in this word prak. This anchu dhatu is there. Anchu dhatu is there. Anch is to means to go. Pra means to kind of to go forward, to go before. So pra anch gives that meaning of being before. It means the east, also means before in time. So that prak has the anch dhatu in there. That's how else we can use one. So etasmat prak, before this prak. Okay. Now comes rite. So rite comes in Gita. Rite pittana bhavishyanti sarve. Now interestingly that in the Gita, rite has been used with a dvitiya vibhakti. Rite pittana bhavishyanti sarve. So now, right now we're talking about panchami, but in Gita, rite has been used with the dvitiya. Rite pittana bhavishyanti sarve. Of course, another famous statement from the Gita. Even without you, all these will no longer exist. Even without you, rite pittvam. Even without you. So of course, this is Lord Krishna telling Arjuna is that even without you, all these will not exist. So don't worry. You can fight because regardless of you, even without you, all these. So rute pittvam. This is dvitiya is being used. So now in the book here we have this panchami is to be used. So ishwarad rute nakopi asti sarvajnaha. Ishwarad rute. So nobody except the Lord knows everything. Ishwarad rite. Nakopi asti sarvajnaha. So rite. Let's look at 2.3.29. There is the same sutram. Is the word rite is being given. Then how in Gita we have the dvitiya being used then? Because there is a next sutram which is coming, that vina. So vina, nana. So there are there is a 2.3.32. Certain words are being given where you can use dvitiya also can be used, and there vina is given without you. So rite is same meaning. I think we can extend that based on that 2.3.32. Otherwise this sutram is saying that rite you have to use rite yajnadatta. So rite is excluding. Rite is excluding. Rite also means the truth, by the way. That's not the meaning here. Here the meaning rite is an avyaya padam, rite. If you look at apte, rite is an avyaya padam. So rite. Except without exception of. See, it's usually ablative. The sutram says you have to use panchami. Rite, something, give some examples. Grauryat, Samayataha. Okay. So we have to use Panchami, but in Gita we have used Dvitiya because, there is sutras below which might allow that. Anyway, that's not for today's class. So this one, Rite is mentioned in 2329 specifically, means without. Ishvara Rite, other than the Lord, means except for the Lord, except without the Lord. This is specifically mentioned in 2329. So Prathak and Vina. Prathak and Vina, this is which we're just talking about that, we have to use 2332. Prathak and Vina, Prathak Vina. So what does the Sutram say, 2332? 2332 is saying Prathak, this one. Prathak Vina Nanabhi Titiya Anyatarasyam. So Prathak, Vina and Nana, these three avyas, if they are used, Titiya can be used Anyatarasyam. Titiya can be used, can also use Dvitiya, and the Vritti and Panchami can also be used. So this 2332 allows for Tritiya, Dvitiya, and Panchami also. We can go, if you want, for a second there, 2332. 2332 is saying the Prathak Nana Vina, Prathak Nana Vina, Prathak Vina Nana, Prathak Vina Nana Vistitiya Anyatarasyam. And Panchami also, Anrutti is coming down from 28. You see that? Anrutti Panchami also is coming down from 28. It says, Panchami Grahanam Anuvartate. Kashika also says that Panchami also Anvutti is coming down. So Prathak Vina Nana Ityetaihi Yoge Titya Vibhaktir Bhavati. Anyatarasyam Panchami Cha. So Panchami also can be used. Panchami also can be used. So Prathak Devadattena. So Prathak means other than, Vina Devadattena, without Devadatta. Okay. In fact, it gives a good quotation. I think this is from Harivamsha Puranam, I think it is. Vina Vatam Vina Varsham. Without any wind, without any rain. Vidyut Trapatanam Vina. Vidyut Trapatanam Vina. Without any lightning strike. Vina Hastikratan Doshan. So barring any havoc caused by the elephants. Kena Imo Patitau Dramau. This is the Damodara avatar of Lord Krishna. Damodara, when he goes between the trees, the two trees fall down. So it says, without wind, without rain, without any lightning strike, without any elephants causing any problems. By whom have these two trees been felled? This just shows the usage of this Vina. Because the Vina here, Dvitiya has been used. But this Prathak Vina Nana, they can take Dvitiya, Tritiya, Anyatarasyam Panchami api bhavati. Panchami also can Panchami. Okay. And he says Yoga Vibhaga is done to give Dvitiya. Anyway, for the time being, we are okay because for us, we are getting Anuvritti from 2328 Panchami and coming down to the Prathak Vina Nana. So that's what this book is saying. Is Prathak Vina without, in the sense of without. You can Panchami can be used, Prathak and Vina. Last one in the book, last statement of the book is the term of comparison is Bhimad Baliyan, Dan Bhima. That's 2342. 2342 says Panchami Vibhakte. Vibhakte means when you split up two things, when you say this is better than that, this is worse than that, this is faster than that. When you Bhaj is to divide, Vibhakti is to divide. When you do a comparison by dividing, splitting up something. 2342. Let's go to that sutram 2342. Panchami Vibhakte 2342. 2342 Panchami Vibhakte. In all these new rules, I hope you're repeating them many times. Tena Chirakalam Buddhistam Bhavet. It will stay in your mind for a long time to repeat these sutras as you hear them. They have a special power. Vishesha Prabhava Vartate Sutranam. They have the special power to give you this knowledge, which nothing else can really do it. These sutras can do it. So here is a new one, easy one, Panchami Bhakti. In the beginning, you can also remember the easy sutras. Okay, Ravi has a question. Yes, Ravi? Okay, Ravi, your hand is up, but I cannot hear you.
Okay. Sorry, Satish.
Yeah, your hand is up, Ravi.
Okay, yeah. I had a question.
Yes.
So this sutra, is it the same one that's used in Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana?
Oh, Karmanaha Buddhi. Yes. Very good. In fact, we're going to start the Gita example. We have about 5 minutes. So Ravi already gave us one. Okay, let's take Ravi's example and let's use Ravi's also the search tools. I know it's in third chapter in the beginning itself, first chapter, first shloka itself. Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhi. In fact, I told you this homework for all of you is to take all the Panchamis in the Gita, and we have one by Ravi. We are running out of time today, but maybe we'll do some of them. Jayasi means better. So Jayas Prashasya Tara. Prashasya Tara is Jayasi. It is better. Prashasya means praiseworthy. Prashasya Tara means better, more praiseworthy. Prashasya Tara. Chet Karmanaha. Karmanaha is what Ravi is saying is Panchami. Panchami ekvachanam. Te mata. If in your opinion, if buddhi is considered to be better, in your opinion, then why do you ask me to engage in this terrible act? This is a question, Arjuna's question. So, but the point in grammar is that karmanaha is could have been shashti also, which is panchami here. Jayati chet karmanaha. So karmanaha buddhi jayasi. So buddhi is discrimination, like we can say maybe in this context. Discrimination is better than action, is what it says. So Ravi's point is a very good one, and this is the sutram for that. Panchami bhakte yatascha nirdharanam. So when you separate out something, okay, Venkata has another. Yes, Venkatji? I got chapter 12 or 12.12. Okay, let's see. Venkat, another example from Venkatji. 12.12. Okay, let's go there. 12.12. Okay. Oh, yes. I know that one. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa. Very good example. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa. Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. All of these. So then this is better. Then this, that is better. So that is what. So Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. So then abhyasa. Knowledge is better than that. Jnana dhyanam is a typo here. Ravi typo here. Okay, next we can correct this one. So be jnana. Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. So compared to jnana dhyanam is better. And then dhyanat karma phalat. Same thing in the next line also. Dhyanat karma phalat tyagaha. So better than dhyana is the renunciation of fruits of action. Tyaga chandranantaram. Interesting point, Venkata. I think your mic is not working. But look at this shloka now. This is what you need to do for homework. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. So it is definitely this comparison between two items. So jnana and abhyasa. Abhyasa is from which is nidharanam. When you, okay, let's go to sutram first for 1 second. It says yatash nidharanam vartiti vartate. So that from which you distinguish something. When you distinguish something. Now let's see. Hindu, your mic is not working. Hindu, I think you're.
Hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes. Now I can hear you. Before your mic was not working. Yes.
Well, my question was actually when you started with this point in Antoine 115.1.
Okay. Which one the point? That will be in this next page, this page or prior page?
That one, isn't that what you're doing? On 102, page 102?
Yeah, 151, yes.
Okay. I thought it had to be with, it's an irregular form, 3464. That's what we had to use, I thought.
3-4, you mean in the...
3474, right. Bhima Dayava Padane.
No, that is for the Unadi Sutras.
Oh, it's only for Unadis, eh?
Yeah, let's go for a second. That's for Unadis, because Unadis can be used in what Karakas can they convey. That's what 3464 is. Okay. And that is...
74.
Yeah, so because if you look at that section, it says the Unadis, 3-4, I'm sorry, yeah. In 3-4, because 3-4, yes, 74, and these two, 73, 74, you know, these are going to come. In what senses can we use the Unadi Sutras? Because Krut Pratyaya, this is in the Krut Adhikara. So in what sense can the Krut Pratyayas be used? Because Kartari Krut is default, right? Kartari Krut is default. Right. But these others, they can be used in the in this verse. The Bhimadaya Shabdaha Padani Padyante. And this Bhima is formed in the Unadi Sutra. So these words can be used in the
Only for Unadi.
Unadi Sutra, not for Kana. So, but anyway, good. Okay, so interesting talk, but it's going to be out of time, sorry. But, okay, the point in this shloka is that, look at this here. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. Okay, so sutram first, we are looking, so yatash nidharanam. So in this sutram, this 2341, let me jump to that. 2341, they were starting nidharanam. Nidharanam means when you distinguish from something else. Nidharanam. So 23, I'm sorry. 2341. So that Shashti has to be used. Comes in Gita all over chapter 10, right? Muni namaham vyasaha, kavi namushana kavihi, masana margashishoham, nirdharanam. When you distinguish something from a class, when you say this is a special out of that class, then nirdharanam, okay? And that Shashti has to be used. So that's in chapter 10 of Gita. All the Shashtis in chapter, means most of the chapter 10 Gita Shashtis is Nirdharane Shashti. Nirdharane. Okay. But that is only when an entire class is there of items, like Muni Namaham Vyasaha, Apyam Vyasaha. So there are many Munis are there, and out of that Vyasa is I am the Vyasa, and Vyasa is distinguished among them, among the many. But then Panchi Vibhakte, when there are only two items, and one is being said to be distinguished from the other. Only two items, vibhakte, means to split. Vibhakti means split. We split into two parts, or two items, and then one is better than the other. Then Panchami has to be used. That's what his sutram is saying. So what he's saying is that yatasya nirdharanam iti avartate. Anuvritti is coming up with yatasya nirdharanam. Okay? So I mean there is something being distinguished, or saying is better than, or whatever, better, worse, or some quality. Distinguished in some way from something else. So Shashtami Saptamyo Apavado Yogaha. So prior sutram was saying Shashtami, Shashti and Saptami could be used. Vibhagaha Vibhaktam. Vibhagaha. When you do a split into two. So Yasmin Nirdharana Ashraye Vibhaktam Asya Asti Tata Panchami Vibhaktir Bhavati. So that from which you distinguish. So Mathuraha Patiliputre Putrakebhyaha Sukumara Taraha, Adhya Taraha. So Mathuraha. I mean, this is from Mathura. The people of Mathura, they are partly Putrakebhyaha. So from the people of Patliputra. Sukumara Taraha, they are more tender. So Sukumara means like, soft, tender, tender. Or Adhya Taraha, they are also more, they're richer. Adhya, well endowed, Adhya. Comes in Gita, right? Adhya Vijanavanasmi comes in chapter 16. The word Adhya comes in Gita. Adhya Vijana means I am well endowed, I am rich, I am in a good position. Okay. Vibhakti Silinga, yes, Vibhakti Silinga, correct. Vibhakti Silinga is a feminine Vibhakti, Venkatji, let's see. Venkatji, the Vibhakti is not Vibhakti. If you take the word Vibhakti, the Panchami, Saptami will be Vibhaktau. Okay? If you take the Prajapati Vibhakti, Saptami will be Vibhaktau. The Vibhakti is not that. Vibhakti is Vibhakta. This is like, Akaranta Pradipadikam. Okay? So here the Pradipadikam is Saptami, but not from the word Vibhakti. Vibhakta is the Pradipadikam here. And it says Vibhaga Vibhaktam. So, so when something is split out, and then, and from that something is distinguished. So here we don't have the Pradipadikam Vibhakti, we have Vibhakta Pradipadikam. You can go if you want, check the word Sukumara. If you use the dictionary, if you use the Gita search tool, you have a lot of good search tools at your fingertips, So we can use them very well. Sukumara. So Sukumara, very tender, So what he means in the Kashika is that is compared to the people of Mathura, people of Patliputra, they are more tender and they are also better, more well endowed. They are richer than the one. So that's what. So when the comparison between two. Now, as Venkatji said, the shloka in Gita now coming back is that we have these. How many panchamis do we have here? We have Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. So from then abhyasa, this is better. So that is clearly that's vibhakte. Nidharanam vibhakte in the two items. Same thing. Jnanadhya. So taram. Anantaram is what now? This is not the immediately after that. So immediately after Tyagaha comes Shanti. So after Tyaga. So this was 2329 which we saw in the class today. This was 2329 because remember we saw 2329 Anya, Arad, Itara, Rite, Dik Shabda. And Dik Shabda was said to be in sense of time or space. So after means that is time. Immediately after in time. So in Gita, these three are in the sense of that Nidharane, Panchami Bhakti, the first three. Anantaram is in the sense of the Dik Shabda. So after that, later than that, after that. So please try to go through the Panchamis in Gita. Should we do one more? Time is up, right? Okay. Anybody want to suggest any Gita Panchamis? Any Panchami? Panchami in Gita? Any Panchami in Gita? Panchami in Gita? Any Panchami in Gita? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, I will give you one in Gita. Okay. Tasmad manusheshu kaschinme priyakrittamaha bhavita na chame tasmad anya priyataro bhavi. Okay. Priya. Okay. Let's take the word priya. Tasmad manusheshu kaschinme priyakrittamaha. Okay, let's start just the okay. Okay. Chapter 18, correct. Chapter 18. Okay, here it is. Prijane Priyosime. Here it is. Tasmat, other than him. So one who teaches Gita to somebody else. So it says, Mame Vaishya Samshrayaha. So Yoidam Paramam Guhya Madbhakti Shvidasyati. One who gives this Gita to my devotees. Bhakti Mai Param Krutva. Having shown supreme devotion towards me. Mame Vaishyatya Samshayaha. He comes to me definitely. Then here's the Panchami now. Nashatasman Manusheshu. Kashimya Priyakrittama. Other than him, no one is more dear to me. No one has done something which is Priyakrit, one who does something which is dear. So other than him, nobody else will be such that he has done something more dear to me. So that is again this same thing which we talked about, which is the Panchami Vibhakte. Panchami Vibhakte is this 2, 3, 42, Panchami Vibhakte. Okay. Time is running out, but can I take one or two more? Anybody want to suggest any Panchami in Gita? Okay, let's take one more. Okay, this is our famous ladder of destruction. Okay, last one. Okay, last one. Let's take this one. But please do the homework and see this is the famous one of the famous Dhyayatu Vishayan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pajayate. Okay, so for one who contemplates on the sense objects, Sangaha, attachment is born. Teshu Pajayate. Okay, Ravi has his hand raised. Yes, Ravi?
Satishi, I typed the same one in the window.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yes, Dhyayatu Vishayan Pumsa. Thank you. Indu, your hand is up. You have a question?
Yeah. What I was going to suggest, what about Shaknoti have yes sodums, Prakshari?
Prakshari, very good, yes. Indu, let's go. Okay, we'll keep that, okay? Chapter 5, right?
Right.
Chapter 5. Okay, we'll come to Indu's one, but time is running out, so I would like to take many more. Maybe next time in the class we'll take some more. Let's take, yes, Mame Vaishyatya Samshaya, correct. Okay.
Satish ji,
yes.
262, 263, everything is full of Panchami.
Yes, that's what I want to say. That's what I'm coming to. So, Sangha Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodho Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, Sammoha Suti Vibra. So, when something is born of something else, Actually, if you look at Shastriji volume number 3, he gives also very good examples. There's good appendices at the back. Because Lagu Siddhartha Kaumudi, he doesn't give all the examples, but in the in Shastriji at the back of volume 3, he gives many more examples. And this is the one example that he gives. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. In fact, the sutram we have not done today. We didn't do the sutram today. But anyway, there is a sutram here. I'm really glad I looked at them. We look at Indus and stop the class. But 1430, is 1430. When something is born of something else, jani kartu prakritihi. Prakritihi, that from which something is born. Then that prakriti takes also the Panchami Bhakti. So this actually need 1430. So let me put in the document quickly with your permission. So it says here is the Sangat Sanjayate Kama. Dhatu Jan is being used. Out of attachment comes desire. Kama Krodho Vijayate. From Kama comes, and so on. They're all like that, So Gita in 262, Sangat, etc. Krodhat, then Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha. From this system, then that is born. So all these you have to use 1430. 1430. And the Sutram says is that when something is born of something else, made from something else, in that case, you have to use, that gets the Apadana Sanya and Apadana Panchami. I'm glad I got this example. That's what I said. Go through Gita and see if you can justify all the usages from what we did in the class. If you cannot do it, then bring it up in the class next time, and we will give so at least next time maybe all of you at least do one example from Gita. Is so Sangat, etc. So Sangat, etc. You have to use in Gita. You have to use the 1430, which is not in the Antoine book. We did not do it in the class today. And then, of course, 2318. So when something is born of something else. Okay. Let's take Hindu's example. Shaknote he vajasodham parakshir mokshanat. Okay, sodham. That's an easy one because we did that sutram today. Sodham. Shaknoti he vajasodham. Okay, here it is. So Shaknoti he vajasodham parakshir mokshanat. So before giving up the body, before releasing the body, who can put up with, who can bear the kama krodhabhavam vegam, the agitation of desire and anger, one who can bear that, one who can put up with that, he is a happy man and he is a yogi. So this prak is there, prak. So we saw the word prak today, the dhatu anch is in that, So that one we can also use, this can be used with there. That one was 2329. When we stop with that, we'll go through the Sutram 2329. In fact, they might have been given some examples here also. Okay, Anchu. Here it is. Anchu Uttarapada. And Dhatu Anchu is there in Uttarapada. Pragramat. Prior to the ram. So Pragramat. Okay. Okay. So that's what we'll do for today. So next time thank you, verse 23. Thank you, Venkatji, verse 23. Yes, you got that. So for homework, please take Gita examples, and from next time in the class, we will do the examples from the book. So if you can just start doing the examples from the book, we'll do it next time. Okay. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Viyata Nishachara Samu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyam Rame Shittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattuliyam Rama Nama Varaname Sri Rama Nama Varananameti. Sorry for the late start today and the late close. We had some technical difficulties, but we'll be better next time. You can stop the recording.